Have you ever picked up a book and read it in one day because it was so interesting? I'm not a book reader, but I read a book last week on the plane, and a week later, I'm still thinking about it. What book was it? Stay tuned and find out. Hey everybody, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev. And once in a while I do something that I don't regularly do, that hardly ever. And that's read a book. And about, 2 weeks ago today, I started reading a book, and I started it on the airplane going on our trip, and I finished it within 2 days. And I did a report on that one. That's called The Horror Store. Then I had also brought another book with me, and I haven't done a report on it. It's back here. But that one took me a little longer, but it was still interesting, and I'll do a report on that. But when it came time to fly home, I didn't have a book to read. All day long we're going to be sitting, like 3 hours in one airport waiting for the next connection and so on. So, first airport we got to, I went and bought a book. I read the whole thing on the plane coming home. Now this book is one that my daughter, Michelle Skellin, who has books called Insomnia, and I'll put her link down below. She recommended as one of her favorite books that she read in 2021. So you need to go check her out because she's pretty spot on with her recommendations, and I love the way she describes some of the books and stuff. Now I won't do that good a deal like she does, but suggest you go check that out too. And what was the name of it? Well, it was called The Push. And when I was in the airport, they didn't have that many books, but as soon as I saw this, I thought, oh, wait a minute. That was one of Michelle's favorites. I think it might have been her favorite. So I bought it. I tell you, quite a book. Woo! Let me read just a little part on here. If you hear background, it's the washer going, of course. Laundry to do up. It says, oops, wrong one. Oh, I should mention that The Push is by Ashley Audrain, A-U-D-R-A-I-N. Oh, come on, how many pages? Okay, here we go. It says, it is often said that the first sound we hear in the womb is our mother's heartbeat. Yeah, I remember hearing that. Actually, the first sound to vibrate our newly developed hearing apparatus is the pulse of our mother's blood through her vein and arteries. We vibrate to that primordial rhythm even before we have ears to hear. Before we were conceived, we existed in part as an egg in our mother's ovary. All the eggs a woman will ever carry form in her ovaries while she is a 4-month-old fetus. Ooh, busy person. In the womb of her mother. This means our cellular life as an egg begins in the womb of our grandmother. Uh-oh. I didn't know much about my mother's mother because she died in her 50s before I was even born. But sounds like she was a pretty nice lady, We'll see. Each of us spent 5 months in our grandmother's womb, and she in turn formed within the womb of her grandmother. We vibrate to the rhythms of our mother's blood before she herself is born. So, it's not a book about getting a push present for pushing out a baby. Just be glad you're pushing them out. I don't need a gift for it. Baby's the gift. Anyway, don't get me started. I couldn't put this down. It was just non-stop. I'll read what it says in the back. And I don't want to give away too much because it's It jumps around. Blythe Connor, B-L-Y-T-H-E, is determined that she will be the warm, comforting mother to her new baby, Violet, that she herself never had. But in the exhaustion of early motherhood, Blythe becomes convinced that something is wrong with her daughter. That's in early motherhood. Or is it all in Blythe's head? The more her husband, Fox, imagine naming your kid Fox, like naming him Rat. He dismisses her fears. The more Blythe begins to question her own sanity. Then their son Sam is born, and with him, Blythe has the blissful connection she'd always imagined with her child. You know, she didn't have with her daughter. But when their lives are changed in an instant, the devastating fallout forces Blythe to face the truth. The Push is an utterly immersive novel that will challenge everything you think you know about motherhood, what we owe our children, and what it feels like when women are not believed. Yep. The part of it was a little confusing for me because it would go back and forth between Blythe's mother, Cecilia, and Cecilia's mother, Etta. So it would kind of, you know, so, but I tell you, it's suspenseful. Towards the end, I thought I had it figured out because I just thought I did. Hard to believe that there are women that would feel this way towards their children, because I've never one of those. Excuse me. But I have known kids who were kind of like her daughter, and it's like no one in the family can see it. It's not their direct close family, you know, they just can't see it. And it's like, geez, you know, what's it gonna take, you know? I mean, I haven't known too many kids like that, just maybe a couple, you know, not my own. I just don't know what to say. It just, I finished it, and I looked at Bob and said, whoo! Now, it's not the kind of book Bob would want to read. It is definitely, I think, a woman's book to read. So, The Push by Ashley Audrain. Get it. Read it. Let me know what you thought. If it comes out in a movie, I'm going to be one of the first ones to go see it. I would give this a 5-star, just like my daughter did. So, and I thought Horror Story was good. I think I gave that, 4? I don't remember. That was a week ago. So, comment below, especially if you've read it. Share, like, subscribe, and I hope you have a good week. I love you all. Bye.